Alright, what's up, everyone? Today we're going to talk about Central Asian role models. Like, these are the key figures of Central Asia that influenced the generation, and that should be our role model, and how we could, look up to them, and how we could maybe do what they do in small parts. Anything you want to add, Sardo?
No, I would say you stated exactly what it was. Influential people within Central Asia.
Alright, let's start with Al-Khwarizmi. So Al-Khwarizmi was born in Khwarizm, which is in modern-day Uzbekistan in Khiva, and his expertise was mathematics, astronomy, and geography and cartography. He was known as the father of algebra. He is one of the most influential mathematicians there is. Um, a fun fact about him, Al-Khwarizmi worked on the Houses of Wisdom in Baghdad, an intellectual center that attracted a lot of scholars across the world and that brought a lot of works from uh, India, Greece, and other parts of the world. And that House of Wisdom made the golden age of Islam, basically. It helped. And Al-Khwarizmi is the what do you call pinnacle of a mathematician. He was a genius, and uh, he basically made modern day math. He created algebra, and he not invented, but like he influenced a lot of people with the creation of number of zero, because back then everybody used to use Roman numerals, which was hard to calculate, and because uh, what's four in the Roman numeral, it's like IV, right? And how can you like calculate in that? That's very hard. So he introduced the Arabic numeral system and the zero. He borrowed it from India, and basically, one and zero is like 10, and then two, and etc. And it helped it a lot. And that really should excel the mathematics in the whole another level. And his works directly influenced a lot of the European people, and it basically opened a whole new window. Basically, this is the guy who made modern day mathematics. Anything you want to add, Sardo?
Uh, I could add a few things into fun fact. You said he worked in the House of Wisdom, specifically in some articles that I read. It said he was one of the head directors within the House of Wisdom. So he played an important role uh, within that school, within the school of Baghdad. Besides that, also adding on to some of your points within father of algebra, he is also, or his name is also related with the algorithms.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not sure if you tackled on that, but including to that, he, are you familiar with the Fibonacci sequence?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So it's So they used algebra in order to, was it, move further into the Fibonacci sequence in a way. So
Mm.
he was just like a stepping stone into creating newer, more precise, was it sequences or math
Mm.
formulas in a sense. Yeah.
Yeah. The Fibonacci sequence, about a fun fact about it. I think it was known way before the what you call Fibonacci itself. The sequence was known way before him, and then he made
Mm.
it popular. But like other than that, yeah. Anything else or
No, I think you tackled on everything.
awesome? Let's go to Amir Temur. Oh,
Mm. Uh, uh, so Well, yeah, Timur, you guys could read it through the whole bullet points that were included. But overall, he was born in Transoxiana within the time where Mongols ruled the Central Asia. Essentially, uh, One of the fun facts is within Transoxiana was also conquered by Alexander the Great. Uh, so his first wife, as I was mentioning to Amuin before this recording, that his Alexander the Great's first wife was from Transoxiana, which is current day Uzbekistan or Samarkand. And Muin, what was the name that you said the wife had?
Rukhana?
Roxana. Yes.
Rukhana.
Yes, exactly. Uh, Besides that, Amr Timur was able to conquer the whole of Central Asia and also went
Persia.
all to the Ottoman Empire. Yeah, you could say Ottoman
Yeah,
Empire.
he
Uh,
did conquer Ottoman Empire. He enslaved
well,
Bayezid, and then there was the whole civil
I don't think
war.
he conquered the whole Ottoman Empire, but he
I mean,
invaded.
I mean, he
He
did.
true enslaved the Bezid the second, I believe, or the third.
I think second.
Uh, and then he was able to retrieve, but including that, he was able to go up to not Caucasus side,
Caucasus.
but
Yeah,
yes,
he conquered the Golden Horde. He like but like the thing with him,
I would
he
not say he
conquered.
conquered it. He didn't
He
conquer
did
the
conquer,
Golden
but
Horde.
he did.
He did
It-
not.
the thing is, like, he conquered, but he didn't, like, rule. That was his problem. He conquered India too, but he did not rule India. Like he
No,
literally.
no, that's a big difference. His One of his students that he helped put his students or a relative of the Golden Horde was studied under Amr Timur, and then he helped him ascend into the Golden Horde's power. And in that sense, they competed, a
Yeah,
student and a
but the
master, but they were not
what was
able
this?
to. Amr Timur was not able to fully conquer it.
I mean, yeah, full. I mean, he
He
won
invaded
a lot of
Turkish
battles.
land, but he didn't conquer it.
Um,
That's a big statement when you say conquer it. Uh, Besides that, he was also able to go up to Azerbaijan, Georgia at that
yeah,
time, uh, probably 7 times. He invaded 7 times. Out of 7 times, 3 or 4 times, he was able to, what was it, conquer it. Not even conquer, but enslave most of his people. And yeah, well, at one of the cases, he was able to kill the king. First time when he went, the king was able to escape, leave all his citizens behind, where when Samar Timur was able to was it invade sea that he evaded, he's like, well, I guess I know what to do, so he won't be able to, was it, run away. I'll just enslave, slaughter everyone, all your citizens, which he did. And then the next time when he invaded, he's like, the king didn't want to run away. He's like, I'll stay as the king. And he followed Amr Timur's, was it, following, or like his rule. Besides that,
yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
He went from Uzbekistan all the way to the far west of Asia. I think he had contact with the Mamluks. Like, he fought with the Mamluks. I think he lost against Mamluks.
True,
And
true,
then
true.
I think he fought Ottomans. He won Bayezid. He went around the encampment and trapped them, and then got him captured. And after he captured, he brought him to Samarkand. And after that, uh, the Ottoman dynasty went to civil war with all of his sons fighting over land. And I think it was Mehmed became victorious. So I'm not sure. One of
Yes,
his sons,
yes, if I
I think one of
recall.
his sons, one of his sons became, like, the leader. And then the tradition of Ottomans was like, after a son becomes a ruler, they kill all of their siblings. That's how it started. So we could thank a
Well,
victim for that tradition
uh,
uh, of like, killing your own brother. Like, oh,
true, 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 true. Probably at that time it was either that or
civil
either you
war.
get killed or you have to kill. So that was
Yeah,
the option. So
and The killing was like without blood. They used to, just wrap them around.
True, 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 true. Um, Not only that, just to add on one more thing, he also went into Delhi to conquer, which he did when the Sultan of Delhi was pretty young, unexperienced. He was able to take all their gold and then come back, or and dethrone someone who was aligned his vision into New Delhi. Not only that,
Yeah,
he also went into before he died, he was trying to invade
China.
East Asia. Yes. But he heard, or based on my readings, he understood that, okay, it was that turmoil where, as you mentioned, with Ottoman Empire, or even, I'm not quite sure when I say Ottoman Empire, if that time of period, Turkey was called Ottoman Empire. But nonetheless, uh, they had
No, it
multiple
was it was
disasters.
it
It
was.
was in
I don't think it was
turmoil.
called the Empire yet. I don't think it was called the Empire yet.
Uh,
I
so
think it was called Ottoman Sultanate or something like that.
I see that. Yeah, that might be true. So based on what I was saying, uh, he understood that China was in shambles and he wanted to go and invade, but he didn't have the chance. He died, and I guess that's where we are.
He called the fool just like Alexander the Great. You know,
Aha,
nothing beats nature. No matter how good of a conqueror you are, no matter how military genius you are. At the end of the day, it's if your time's up, your time's up.
true, true, true.
And the crazy part is he was limped, like or like he was a limp.
Uh,
He had limp.
yes, that is true. He was limp. Based on there's two points of view that I read. One, he got hit by an arrow. That's, I
Yeah,
believe, well aware. But one of the ways, or one of the reasons why he got limped is when he tried to steal a ship, or
yeah,
sheep.
sheep.
So,
Yes,
in this sense, did he steal it while operating a gang member, or he stole it because uh, it was fun and he was within a not a royal family, but a noble family. Was he a noble
yes.
family and then he stole it for fun, or was he a gang member or a lead of gang member and then he stole it to earn some income or just for
I
food?
don't think he was a noble family. I think he claimed to be a noble family.
But I I'm saying
Because
before,
he was a thief. That's the thing. He was a thief, and then that's why he became limp. And then afterwards, he made his band and he started doing like rebellious stuff. And then he caught up a ruler, and then the ruler like helped him even more. And then he married a Mongol woman, and they claimed descended from Chinggis. Uh, and then the reason he didn't claim himself a Khan because only Mongols could be a Khan. He called himself Amir, which is like prince.
yes, yes. But
And then
before
he
that,
he had a puppet Khan though.
uh-huh, I understand. That's clear. But as mentioned, two thoughts where one, he's a nobleman, one, he was a poor man or like a gang member. So within a noble, there has, or I've read it stated, how was he able to get close up to, was it not Kublai Khan, but another Khan member who was able to come in and then take over Transoxiana and like re reconquer Transoxiana when there was turmoil within the Mongol Empire. So he sided with one Mongol, and then when another invader, Mongol invader, came to dethrone this Mongol, he jumped in and he was at the higher league. So you cannot just be a low gang member and then jump up
No,
to a higher
I
league.
don't think
He
he
was
was a
a
low gang member, but I think he was a gang member. But I don't think he was a noble family. I think he was a gang member that had his party. He was like what do you call a bandit? He was like bandit, and he was like a
yes,
bandit leader.
yes. Well, I'll have to do my research in here and then figure out which
I
one
mean,
went.
people could let us know in the comments if we are
Uh-huh,
correct or if
uh-huh.
we're wrong. Because at the end of the day, it's all that this happened like 700 years ago. We don't know.
True, true. We don't.
I um Another thing is he claimed to be the sword of Islam. Funny part, he was mostly fighting Muslims.
That is true. That is true. That is true. It was contradicting where he said he was doing for the greater cause, but then he was the cause himself.
Yeah, and another thing I want to mention is like in his grave, I think you might know this. Like said, if you disturb my grave or something like that, it's a quote. If you disturb my grave, great calamity will happen. And you know
Yes.
when the Russian archaeologists opened his grave during I think 1907, 1934, no 39 or something like that. Germany invaded Poland that day. And then yeah, and
Yes,
when they
yes.
closed it, that's where like I think World War ended.
Yes, I have heard of that. That is true.
It's like it adds to his aura. Like, oh man, this guy is something.
Mhm.
You want to
Even
add anything else?
well, maybe one more thing. Based on what I've read, uh, maybe have been even he has invented this occurrence even before that, but overall, most of the places where he went and conquered, he slaughtered most, beheaded most, and then created piles of skull pyramids. So
Yeah,
I'm not sure if they did that before him as
yeah,
well,
yeah. No,
but
Mongols did it
that
before.
is what
Mongols
I've
did
said.
it.
I
Mongols
see.
did the same thing. I think he was just
I
he
see. He
copied off
copied
them.
me.
All right, let's go to the next one. Imam
Yes.
Al-Bukhari. Oh, this guy is very big in the Islamic world. So Imam Al-Bukhari was born in Bukhara in Uzbekistan. Fun fact about him, at the age of 16, he traveled across the Islamic world, visited Mecca, Medina, Baghdad, Damascus, Kufa, and to search for like authentic hadiths of like the sayings of the Prophet. And uh, interesting detail about is Imam Bukhari's methodology of verifying hadiths did not only assess the contents, but also of the character and reliability of the person who he is like narrating. This is like the uh, Al-Bukhari is like the hadiths are the gold standard of hadiths. They're like the pinnacle, the most trusted. Uh, it's him and Al-Muslim. So Al-Bukhari hadiths and Al-Muslims are the most highest pinnacle of hadiths. And so th- he I think he recorded about 600,000 hadiths, and out of 600,000, he only accepted 75,000. Think about it, 600,000, and then he only 75,000. That's insane. And the legacy of Imam Bukhari is it's very well known in the Islamic world because his hadiths are like Sahih Bukhari is the main hadiths that Muslims rely on, the saying of the Prophet Muhammad, which is like 1.3 billion Muslims. So like he has huge influence on the Muslim world.
Hmm.
Anything you want to add? Anything you?
Uh, I have read it, but I do need to review on this. I do need to review on this.
I love. I want to share a story. So, uh, you know, I think he had a photographic memory. His memory was like amazing. So, like when he was, what do you call it? When he was, you know, in the Baghdad, I think he was like some scholars were like, oh, let's test this guy. Let's see how good he is. Like, is he actually what he claims to be? So what they did is, they in Hadith there's like chain of narration and the saying. So they gave him 10 chains of narration and 10 fake ones and 10, the real ones. So they were like around 30. So they were like, just messing up the chain of narration and stuff like that. And they were testing him, see if he will catch on. And the thing is, he did catch on. He said and then he was like, once they were like, oh, they were giving the narration, they were like, tell us what's wrong with the hadith. And he said what's wrong with the hadith, and then he said the order, it was the order they said wrong, and they said the part they said wrong, and he corrected the part and gave the correct narration. Like for 10 hadiths, like out of like 75,000, which is amazing. And like his memory was incredible. Like I think at the age of 10, he memorized the entire, or 8, I think he memorized the entire book of Quran. Like he's that guy basically. His memory was insane. He was like genius level.
Damn. Wow.
And, and there's one more story of him. So he was, I think, traveling with the boat, and he showed the coin to some guy, and shows like, this is how much money I have. He said, and the guy looked at his money. He was like, I lost my chain of gold. I lost my pocket of gold. And then anybody was like searching. Oh, where's that guy? Where's that guy? And what happened was, he threw the bag of gold. He threw it out. He threw it out of the he cast it in the sea. And the guy was like, "Why would you throw it out?" He was like, "If my character is in doubt, then the hadith will be in doubt either. I will not have my character, be in doubt, so the hadith will be in doubt." So he threw out the money, and it was a lot of money. Like he threw it out because he wanted his hadiths to be counted as authentic. That's the guy we're talking about. Like this guy is up more righteous, up more, like he threw his own money rather than defending himself, be like, "This is my money." He didn't want hit like a single, bad reputation on him. He just casted the coin away.
Mm,
This guy,
nice.
bro.
Nice. I guess need to read some more. Need to read some more.
Yeah, this guy was like insanely smart. Like, memorized the Quran, hadiths, and yeah, I think one story goes like he was recording hadiths from a guy, and the guy was like, he was like, "Let me show you a trick. Let me show you a trick." And then he brought a bag of a wheat to a camel. He was like, "Come eat this," or it might be a donkey. He was like, "Come eat this. Come eat this." And then he caught the donkey, and then he like wrapped him around. He was like, "Look, I caught the donkey." And what's the fun part? He did not accept the story of the guy who tricked the donkey because he did not trust his character because of that incident.
Hmm.
This
I
is the
see. Yeah.
guy. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So people do, was it deals based on certain level? Was it uh so here, for example, a lot of people play, this is what I've heard, uh within golf, right? It's simple. You just hit once and then you go mark it in your, was it notes stating, okay, how far, how close, one shot. And some cases, some people, and no one usually watches you, right? You could move it, you could have one hit into the hole, or you could have multiple, but people do deals when they know if the person is reliable. So when mean by that is, if they play with with certain trickery, then they stop making deals. So this is what I have heard golf is used for in some cases, but it's just rumors,
Hmm.
gossip that I've heard.
All right, let's go to the next person. Al-Biruni.
Oh, Al-Biruni is my cousin from long distance.
Your grandfather, right?
So he was an inventor, astronomer, geographer. He wrote a lot of uh, not only was it uh, measurements, but specific was it geographic measurements. I forgot what was the term that was used. Uh, but yeah, as you guys could read, this is simple. He did development of his formulas, ensuring the Earth is fully rounded. He was able to have many instruments once again regarding the astronomy, geography, that was, I would say, lost, somewhere used, uh, based on the, was it what I recall, the museums that I went that had his historic, uh, not statements, but facts. I was able to see similar tools that they were able to showcase, like reading the stars, the astronomical stars, the measurements. It was circular, and I have no clue how you use it though. Uh,
You talking about the equipment? What do
yes,
you call
yes,
that?
the
So yeah,
equipment.
yeah, yeah. No, I know about it.
Uh, so once again, you're able to see he knew a lot of languages. He was good. I would say he was a polyglot, or as it says in
Yeah,
his
yeah, yeah. All
linguistic,
polyglot.
Arabic, Sanskrit, Greek, Hebrew,
Sanskrit.
and other languages that was used at that time. Uh,
Yeah. The crazy fun facts about him is he calculated the day, and he was only missed the day by about 58 seconds. He calculated like how much is a day, and he missed it by only 58 seconds. And then he calculated the circumference of the Earth way before Christopher Columbus messed it up. He calculated correctly, and then I think he was maybe off by like 500 miles or something like that. But like this guy is the god. Let's go to the next guy. Oh, you have something you want to add?
uh, okay, go ahead. Move forward.
Avicenna or Ibn Sina. Oh man, this guy is a genius too, man. He was born in Astronomer near Bukhara, modern day Uzbekistan. He was born in nine uh, 908. How do you say it? 980 basically. Ibn Sina memorized the Quran at the age of 10, and he mastered all sciences at the age of 16. At 18, he was practicing physician, and he was curing local, you know, rulers with their diseases. And during like interesting detail about him, like Ibn Sina, like during his imprisonment, like a lot of a politician imprisoned him, and during that time, instead of like crying and being sad about it, he wrote a book, the Canon of Medicine and the Book of Healing, and and that was like the key book of modern medicine. So his title is known as the father of modern medicine, and he was the most influential thinkers of Islamic Golden Age. So yeah, anything you want to add about him?
Uh, Ibn Sina, yes, he used a lot of local, not only local, but a lot of herbal medicines, and learned based on the trial and errors. And during that period of time, not only him, but other was the scholars, they were able to do their research on the herbal plants, and then and figure out uh, was the ways that could help further the advancement of the pharmaceutical or drugs, in a sense. Yeah, that's about that.
You know some badass things about him? I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Yes. So, do I know any
Cause
badass?
he was a badass. I'm not gonna lie.
Let's
Like
let's see if I could
some of his
recall.
surgeries, some of his surgeries, like he didn't have patience. So he was like, you know what? Let me just do it on myself. He did a self surgery on himself. That's how
Oh, yes, I have heard of that. That is true. That
this
is true.
guy was like, yo, which doctor who can do a surgery on themselves?
I
Yeah.
don't think
Oh,
any that I know of.
yeah. Also, I think he theorized germ theory. He was one of the first guys to theorize about germ and spreading of germs. And then he uh, thought about diabetes and hypertension, and like he basically gave the idea of hypertension and diabetes and tuberculosis. And he was one of the reasons. I think I'm not sure if it was him, but you know about the scientific method, right?
No, enlighten me.
So there's the hypothesis, there's the trial, and after trial fails, you analyze it and you test the hypothesis again and again until you get to the conclusion.
Hmm.
You don't know about scientific method. That's great. Okay. Basically, scientific method. He basically made the scientific method and the clinical trials. He basically is the guy for the modern medicine. He envisioned, not how can I say it? He basically set a guideline for how modern medicine should be. Germ theory, diseases, fixes, everything. This guy is the guy for medicine, and he is probably our ancestor.
I see. Well, probably, most likely, some way or another, we're connected, I would say.
Yeah. Uh, let me go back. I want to tell you a story about Bukhari. So Bukhari, Bukhari was exiled from his country, exiled from Bukhara, right?
I don't know that.
He was exiled from Bukhara. So after his death, I think he died somewhere in Baghdad. So what they after he died, what they did was they were bringing his body to Bukhara. When they heard Bukhara died, like thousands of people, they travel like miles, tens of miles to carry his body. Like they literally, what? Like Imam Bukhari has died. He was exiled. Remember, he was exiled. They brought his body from like all the way from like Iraq to
Yes.
Uzbekistan. Like this guy was that much, he was that much respected because they carried his body from all the way to Baghdad, from Baghdad to Bukhara. Like his burial place is, I think, Bukhara or Samarkand. I'm not sure. They
Sure.
basically insane.
Wow.
This guy is that much respected.
Impressive. Not, I believe, based on that period of time, the population was small, but even then, it's being known by a lot of people when there was no internet, no ways of communication, or like nothing. The only way of communication was, I believe, at that time was
Messengers,
through, pardon?
messengers, like they carry mail and
Oh,
stuff.
yes, yes, the messengers, the paper notes, that would get delivered maybe not within hours, not within seconds, but I would say weeks, months, maybe even years. And a lot of people knew him. That is impressive. Uh, uh, just to keep you updated, we do have limited time in here.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think we should like maybe uh keep the
wrap
rest
this
of the
up
other. What's
around
up?
this time, wrap this up around this time, and then discuss other scholars
Later.
later. Yes,
I agree. I agree.
yeah.
We should discuss them later. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed our presentation. These are like the key figures of Central Asia. These are our like grandfathers, our fathers of our nations. These are the guys we should be looking up to. These are the guys who influenced the modern world. And hope you guys see you guys next time.